ठीक है।
Today's topic is pneumonia. So, what is the definition of pneumonia? It is the acute respiratory illness associated with X-ray shadowing, radiological shadowing. Then it is called pneumonia. For example, if anyone develops simple fever, cough, but there is no any X-ray shadow, that is not called the pneumonia. That is simply called the respiratory tract infection. For example, in bronchitis. So if there is no any X-ray shadow, that is not called the pneumonia. That is simply called the respiratory tract infection. Now, what are the types of pneumonia? It may be community-acquired pneumonia. Number two, it may be hospital-acquired pneumonia. Third is the pneumonia in immunocompromised patients. Now, hospital community-acquired pneumonia means patient has acquired the pneumonia in community. Hospital-acquired pneumonia means person has developed pneumonia after 2 days of admission in hospital. A patient is admitted in hospital with any other complaint, but he develops pneumonia after 2 days. That is called the hospital-acquired pneumonia. If, for example, if he is admitted due to any other disease, but he develops pneumonia on second day, that is called the community-acquired pneumonia, not hospital-acquired pneumonia. Third variety is the pneumonia and immunocompromised. When immunity is decreased, for example, he is taking steroid or he is suffering from HIV infection, then simple non-pathogenic organism, virus or fungi can cause the pneumonia. That is called the pneumonia in immunocompromised patients. Now, what are the risk factors for the pneumonia? Cigarette smoking, alcohol, upper respiratory tract infection. Now, for example, if one has developed this pharyngitis or tracheolaryngitis or tracheobronchitis, then due to continuity of this mucosa, then upper respiratory tract infection can spread to lower respiratory tract infection. So it can cause a pneumonia. Recent influenza. Any recent viral infection, for example, influenza, parainfluenza, it is it is followed by secondary bacterial infection. Most important cause of the secondary pneumonia after this influenza virus infection is the Staphylococcus pneumonia. Staphylococcus pneumonia usually follows this influenza virus infection. Old age, steroid. If one person is taking steroid due to any medical illness, then is prone to develop this pneumonia. Pre-existing lung disease, for example, this bronchiectasis or COPD or cystic fibrosis, then there are repeated attacks of pneumonia in these patients. Now, what are the organisms responsible? Organisms are most important bacteria responsible for pneumonia are Streptococcus pneumonia. Streptococcus pneumonia is also called the pneumococcus. So this is the most common important cause. Then Haemophilus influenzae that usually affects the old age, immunodebilitated patient old age. Mycoplasma pneumonia that is also common in young age. Staphylococcus, as I already said, it usually follows this viral infection or IV drug abusers. If one is taking IV drugs, then he will develop endocarditis as well as Staphylococcus pneumonia. Then atypical organism, for example, Legionella, Mycoplasma, Chlamydia. These three organisms are called the atypical organisms. These also responsible for the pneumonia. Then virus also cause the pneumonia. For example, influenza, parainfluenza, measles, varicella, coronavirus. Nowadays, coronavirus pandemic of coronavirus that can cause the severe pneumonia. Now, clinical features. What are the symptoms of pneumonia? Uh, Patient usually present with fever, chills, then cough, then chest pain, dyspnea. These are various symptoms. Now, what are the signs of this pneumonia? On examination, chest examination, you will find the restricted movement of the chest on the affected side, palpation, vocal firmness is increased, and there may be dullness on the affected side, auscultation, bronchial breathing may be audible, there may be crackle, there may be pleural rub. These are findings of pneumonia. Then we will assess the severity of this pneumonia by this score curve 65. Curve means C stands for the confusion, U means increased urea, R means respiratory rate more than respiratory rate, B means blood pressure. So each one is given 1 point, one score, 1 point. For example, confusion C, confusion, second U, urea, U stands for urea, if it is increased, C means confusion, if it is confused, 1 point, if urea increase 1 point, respiratory rate is more than 30, 1 point, B means blood pressure, if systolic is less than 60 or diastolic less than 60, systolic less than 90 and diastolic less than 60, then again 1 point, 65 if age is more than 65. So total score is 5. So if patient is having score 3, then there is need of admission in the ward. And if their score is 4 or 5, then there is need to admit in the ICU, intensive care unit. Now investigation. Now investigation, blood CP. Blood CP may show leukocytosis or leukopenia. So these both indicate severity. If leukocytosis or leukopenia also indicates severity. Or if there is neutrophilia, that indicates usually viral bacterial infection. Then second investigation is sputum. Sputum or oropharyngeal swab usually take. And this sputum is examined for gram staining and then it is sent for culture and sensitivity. So if any organ is detected and it will also tell us to which antibiotic that is sensitive. That is the advantage of culture and sensitivity. Oropharyngeal swab. So nowadays oropharyngeal swab is also taken in coronavirus or it is taken due to pneumonia of any cause. Then this sputum or oropharyngeal swab are both used also used for PCR. PCR of sputum or oropharyngeal swab is used for this viral infection, including coronavirus or atypical organism, for example, Legionella, Mycoplasma, and Chlamydia. So, and tuberculosis. So, by PCR we can detect the cause, can know the cause of this pneumonia. Urea and electrolyte also advised. Urea is also increased. That's also a part of the curve score. And electrolyte due to diarrhea, vomiting, or fever, there may be electrolyte imbalance, especially sodium imbalance. LFT may be drained. LFT usually disturb an atypical pneumonia or the causes or when there is basal pneumonia that also involves the liver. So LFT is also drained. If there is bacteremia, then blood culture is sent. Serology. Serology means antibody detection. So acute and convalescent. Acute we detect at the time, take the sample, then convalescent when patient recovers, then again take the blood for the antibodies. If there is four-fold rise in antibody titer, then again indication of infection. The specific antibodies of the specific organ. So, for example, Legionella, Mycoplasma, Chlamydia, specific antibodies. Cold agglutinin, that's the antibody that is usually detected in Mycoplasma pneumonia. Urine is also examined. Urinary urine can detect the pneumococcal or Legionella antigen. So urine analysis is useful for detection of two pneumonia, this pneumococcal and Legionella pneumonia. X-ray. X-ray is the important. Every person know X-ray for the diagnosis of pneumonia. X-ray is must, except in rare condition, for example, pregnancy or any other condition. Otherwise, X-ray is routinely done to diagnose the pneumonia. It will tell pneumonia, various types. There may be lobar pneumonia, one lobe is affected, or segment is affected, segmental, or bilateral involvement of the lungs, bilateral patchy involvement that is called the bronchopneumonia. So X-ray is very much helpful in diagnosis and cause of the pneumonia. We can also assess the cause of pneumonia by seeing the X-ray. Pleuropneumonia, so some pneumonia are complicated with parapneumonic effusion. So pleural fluid should be drained for diagnostic purpose as well as therapeutic purpose. So it will tell you uh, is there any reactionary pleural fluid or is there any special need to drain the whole fluid. For example, if pleural fluid shows pH less than 7, glucose less than 640 milligram per deciliter, or LDH more than 1000 units per liter, or if organisms are detected in pleural fluid or on culture, then there is need of complete drainage of pleural fluid. If you leave this fluid, that will lead to ADN and fibrosis. So there is need of complete removal. These four indication of complete drainage. Otherwise, small fluid that will subside with treatment of pneumonia. Now management. Once you have diagnosed the pneumonia, then you have to start the treatment. Now, first of all, you have to note whether patient has taken the antibiotic in past 3 months due to any reason. If patient has not taken antibiotic in last 3 months, then drug of choice is clarithromycin or azithromycin. Dose of clarithromycin is 500 milligram BD, while dose of azithromycin is 500 milligram OD. Second category, if patient has taken antibiotic in past 3 months, then drug of choice is respartiquanolone. Respartiquanolone means moxifloxacin or levofloxacin or beta-lactam with macrolide. Beta-lactam in this cefotaxime, ceftriaxone, cefuroxime, this these are all beta-lactam. macrolide, alkyl- clarithromycin or azithromycin. So you should use this resveratrol or beta-lactam with macrolide, both combination or only single quinoline. And third category, if patient needs ICU admission, then you should start this beta-lactam, as I already discussed. Beta-lactam, for example, ceftriaxone, cefotaxime, this or with macrolide or quinoline. You have give two double drugs, beta-lactam or macrolide or quinoline, so that it should cover all the organisms. Typical, atypical, if you combine this regime, that will usually cover all the organisms. General Myers. Uh, Now, what is the duration of treatment? So, for how many days antibiotic should be continued? Usually, 7 days are sufficient. But if organism is Staphylococcus or atypical organism or gram-negative bacilla, then treatment is usually extended up to 2 to 3 weeks. So, 2 to 3 weeks duration is recommended for this Staphylococcus, gram-negative bacilla, and atypical bacteria. For example, atypical means Legionella, Mycoplasma, and Chlamydia. The general measures, along with antibiotics, you have consider other general measures. For example, hydration. You should encourage a fluid intake, or you can give the fluids, IV drips. Oxygen, if patient is sinus dyspnea or saturation is less than 90%, you should give oxygen. If patient is in shock, then you should start this inotropic support. If patient has developed respiratory failure, then there may be need of ventilation. And steroids are also indicated, prednisolone or methylprednisolone. These are also used in severe cases. Now, now suppose after treatment, patient is not responding to the treatment. After even 2 or 3 weeks, patient is not responding. Then what are the causes of failure to respond? That means you have not given the adequate dosage drugs. You have not given an recommended frequency. You have given in short duration, or you have missed, or that organism is resistant to the that drugs, or you have missed the or pneumonia causative organism. For example, if pneumonia is due to atypical organism, Legionella, Mycoplasma, Chlamydia, and you are given beta-lactam penicillin, then patient will not respond. So that is the wrong diagnosis, wrong cause of pneumonia. You are not appropriately treating. Second most important problem is tuberculosis. Tuberculosis can present with just like pneumonia, X-ray shadows. You cannot differentiate from pneumonia. So if patient is not responding after 2 or 3 weeks of therapy, you must also consider tuberculosis, and you should treat, investigate for tuberculosis. For example, mosquito may be and this culture of mosquito. Or sometimes any pulmonary infarction or malignancy can resemble this pneumonia. You should also consider these also come in the differential diagnosis. Now, what are the complications? Perineum effusion, I already discussed just now. Empyema, pus in the pleural cavity, empyema. If there is pus, then there needs complete removal. So, grossly looking pus on examination, pus cells are present, then there need of complete complete removal of this empyema. Otherwise, it would lead to the AD and impair the lung function. Lung abscess is also complication. Polyps due to obstruction of bronchi, it can lead to lung polyps, pneumothorax. Ectopic abscess, for example, lung abscess can metastasize to any other organ. For example, brain abscess can develop due to staphylococcus lung abscess, or patient can develop respiratory failure, ARDS, acute respiratory distress syndrome, shock, and again this cardiac complication, myocarditis, pericarditis, neurological complication, meningoencephalitis. These are various complication of pneumonia. The management of complication, for example, empyema, I have told you that it should be completely removed. Prevention, prevention pneumonia, you should avoid this smoking or steroid when possible, or two vaccines are also available for influenza and pneumococcal infection. So if patient is at risk of develop repeated pneumonia, for example COPD or bronchiectasis, then he should vaccinate himself. Now this is the X-ray of pneumonia, lobe or pneumonia. This one lobe is affected. Homogeneous shadow. Now, other types of pneumonia. For example, second is the hospital-acquired pneumonia. What do you mean by hospital-acquired pneumonia? If patient develops pneumonia after 2 days of admission in the hospital, that is called the hospital-acquired pneumonia. So, what are the organisms? If patient develops pneumonia within 4 days, then same organism are responsible as in community acquired pneumonia. But if patient develops pneumonia after 4 or 5 days after admission, then different organisms are involved. For example, most of the gram-negative bacilli, especially Pseudomonas or Staphylococcus or anaerobes, these are responsible. During hospital, for example, if patient needs this intubation, this tracheostomy, ventilation, or this nebulizer, then these all are may be infected, and patient may be infected, and he may require new pneumonia. That is called the hospital-acquired pneumonia. So, what is the treatment of these hospital-acquired pneumonia? So, most important is I have just told that most important organism are gram-negative, especially Pseudomonas and Staphylococcus pneumonia. So you have to use the drugs which is effective for the Pseudomonas. For Pseudomonas, most effective drugs are these carboxypenicillin, for example, piperacillin. Number two, this carbamazepine, this meropenem or imipenem. Number three is the fourth generation cefepime, and these are effective for the along with these beta-lactam along with this quinoline, for example, ciprofloxacin or levocin should be given to cover this regime. So then Pseudomonas will be covered. So it is very notorious. It is very difficult to control. So this double regime means quinoline with beta-lactam. Beta-lactam, especially this piperacillin or meropenem or imipenem or cefepime, fourth generation, then it will be covered. If you are suspecting this methicillin resistant staphylococcus, then you should add this Lanzolate or this vancomycin. Vancomycin dose of vancomycin is 1 gram BD and dose of lanzolate is 600 milligram BD along with clindamycin 600 milligram hourly. So this will cover the Staphylococcus pneumoniae. Second category is aspiration pneumonia. Aspiration means, for example, due to patient has vomit, he has aspirate all the vomiters. For example, he has developed fits or he is unconscious and he cannot protect his airways. So vomit, he has vomited and he has aspirate all this gastric contents. Then he will develop pneumonia that is called aspiration pneumonia. This usually contains both aerobic and anaerobic organism and Staphylococcus pneumonia. So, appropriate antibiotic is this third generation cephalosporin along with metronidazole. Metronidazole will cover the anaerobic organism and Staphylococcus pneumonia will be covered by this third generation cephalosporin. Third category is pneumonia and immunocompromised patients, especially especially if patient is HIV infected or is taking steroid or immunity is decreased in many infections, for example, viral, fungal can infect, especially most important is pneumocystic carni pneumonia. Another name of this organism is pneumocystic girovacii. So there that should also be considered in immunocompromised patient if it is a feature of pneumonia. It will usually show bilateral infiltrate, bihalar infiltrate, interstitial shadow. So treatment is usually high dose 4-trimoxazole, Ciptran or 4-trimoxazole given for 2 or 3 weeks. Now, specific pneumonia. Now, specific pneumonia, certain organisms needs special separate discussion because this pneumonia is very much important. For example, pneumococcal pneumonia. What are the special clues on the examination that you can suspect the pneumococcal pneumonia? So, if there is herpes labialis, means herpes infection on the lips, or if there is rusty sputum, rusty means golden, जो rusty color sputum, golden color sputum, and herpes labialis, that is usually clue to the pneumococcal pneumonia. Treatment investigation I have already discussed. Staphylococcus pneumoniae second, it usually follows this influenza or influenza infection or IV drug user, or if there is already underlying lung disease. X-ray finding of this Staphylococcus pneumonia will be multiple this shadows or bilateral lung involvement. There may be cavitation, abscess formation, and bilateral involvement with cavitation is a feature of Staphylococcus pneumonia. Now, what are other causes which cause cavitation? What are other causes of cavitating pneumonia? Other causes of tuberculosis or the gram-negative bacilla or anaerobic organism. These also cause the cavitation. Cavitation. Then pseudomonas, I will discuss pseudomonas and mycoplasma pneumonia. That causes many complications. That is important in that it causes many complications. For example, neurological complications. You may find the patient has developed meningoencephalitis, cerebellar syndrome, transfer myelitis, GB syndrome. GB syndrome is also complication of this mycoplasma pneumonia. And it can also cause hemolytic anemia, thrombocytopenia, aplastic anemia. So various complications and skin complication may be this Steven Johnson syndrome. So there are many complications, and this will usually respond to the macrolide, clarithromycin, or azithromycin, or quinolone. It will not responding to beta-lactam. Now another pneumonia, rare pneumonia is Legionella pneumophila. Important feature is that this organism this proliferates grows in the water. This cold water means, for example, in hostels or in hotels, then cold storage, for example, cooling system. So it proliferates in the water. But infection occurs due to inhalation of aerosol, not inhalation of aerosol, and this organism proliferates in the water. So usually epidemics occurs. Many people are affected at the same time. For example, in hostels or in hotels, many people affected at same time. Then you must suspect this Legionella infection. Clinical features are that it may present with diarrhea and vomiting. It may present with hepatitis. It may present with renal failure. It may present with confusion along with respiratory symptoms. So you may not suspect this organism easily because it may present with extra pulmonary symptoms. So again, investigation I have told you it will respond to this quinolone or macrolide. And their question is how to purify the water. If if for example, a tank of water, if there is an organism, how it can be easily disinfected with chlorine dioxide. Chlorine dioxide mixed with water, it will eliminate it, it will remove, it will kill the organism. I think it is all for today. Thank you.
Mhm.